Welcome back, everyone, to another installment of Scott Selections here for Friday, December 18th. Before getting today's play of the day, quick announcement. This is the second video. The first video was on college football. This will be the college basketball edition. So if you're looking for the college football play on a bowl game that's going to be taking place tomorrow, you can look at that video. You can look at the videos, which will be the video right before this one. For today's play of the day in college basketball, we're going to be looking at a matchup here between South Dakota and Drake. We're going to be taking it with the road favorites here. We like Drake minus the 5.5 at minus 112 on DraftKings. A time of recording of 2:03 a.m. Eastern Time. Couple reasons why I like Drake in this spot. First of all, you have seen a lot of money coming in on Drake. If you look at where this line opened up, Drake was originally a 4.5-point favorite, currently up to 6 in pretty much every book, but DraftKings still has 5.5, so I'll take the half point to the bank every time. Couple reasons why I like Drake in this spot. First of all, Drake already played against this team earlier this season, and Drake won by double digits. Now you're looking at a South Dakota team that is 1-5. This team's been very underwhelming all season long. They did win their last game against South Dakota State, and I will give them props for that, as they definitely look good in the process. However, that doesn't change the fact the South Dakota team has been awful all season long. They lost to North Dakota State, which has been terrible. They lost to North Dakota, which has been awful. They lost to Nebraska. This team is really bad, and this Drake team is currently undefeated. Now, you might remember Drake we took in the first college play of the year, as we took them on the road getting points against Kansas State, and they won the game outright. Now, Drake is just a much better team in this matchup. Really no other way to put it. Drake is currently averaging 84 points per game. South Dakota is averaging 68.7. Drake's also giving up roughly 16 fewer points per game. They're shooting roughly 12% better from the floor. They're also averaging roughly 6 more rebounds per game. South Dakota just simply is outmatched, and I do know that some teams tend to play better in the rematch, but Drake is just the much better team. And I can't really say no to a team that won the first meeting by 16 points, only laying 5.5 here. I feel like that's an absolute steal. Drake is, in my opinion, the best team in the Missouri Valley Conference. I think they'll definitely give a run to make the tournament, and South Dakota should finish well under 500. But looking at Drake so far this season, they are really good in a variety of areas. They're shooting roughly 72% from the free throw line. They're shooting over 40% from three. They also have 4 players averaging double digits, which is definitely a huge boost for a team, especially a mid-major, that has a ton of scoring depth. And if one player potentially has a bad game, they have a couple of guys who can step up in the process, which has definitely been the case so far this season. Now, looking at South Dakota, they are kind of the exact opposite, because offensively they are extremely challenged, as they are only averaging they're averaging 68.7 points per game, as I mentioned before. But looking at who's the main scorers on this team, they really only have one guy. And the one guy that they have, don't get me wrong, is really good in Stanley Umude. But Umude is averaging 23.7 points per game, which means he is averaging roughly a third of the team's points. Now, they ended up winning the game against South Dakota State because he ended up having 40-plus. I think Drake will have a better defensive game plan for him. They also have another guard who's averaging double digits, but they only have 2 guys that are averaging more than 8 points per game. They don't have any depth whatsoever when it comes to scoring, and I do think Drake will have a more sophisticated defensive game plan to keep Umude from going off and to force other guys to beat them, and I simply do not think they'll be able to do so. But looking at this line, you have a team that's undefeated against a team that's 1-5, and the team that's undefeated already beat this team by double digits earlier in the year. I think 5.5 is a gift. I think this line will probably climb up to around 7, 7.5. So for that reason, the college basketball play of the day here for Friday is going to be on Drake minus 5.5 and minus 112 on DraftKings. Time recording of 2:07 a.m. Eastern Time. That's been Scott Selections. Good luck to all of you and your respective best today. Bye, everyone.